Welcome to Hangman Tarot. We're going to get started here with our celebrity tarot card reading in just a minute. But first, go ahead, hit subscribe, click the bell. You know the drill. Other than that, we are going to get started with our reading with JHOPE. Now, the way to say his name is Jean-Ho Sak. That's right. I think that pronounced it right. We'll find out. Somebody will say something, I'm sure. All right. I'm going to go over his astrology really quickly, and then we'll get right into the oracle reading and the tarot card reading. He was born February 18th, 1994 in South Korea. He's an Aquarius Taurus. He is also a birth path 7. A little bit more about him, if I can find it. He's best known as JHOPE and is a South Korean rapper, dancer, singer, and a composer. He was born on February 18th, 1994, and he is the member of a BTS, and he's also known as a Bangtan boy, or he was known as Bangtan Boys, a 7-member South Korean boy band formed by Big Hit Entertainment. Their name is Korean. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So he's a part of the band. He's part of the process when they're singing on stage. So we are going to get into a reading. Again, this was a request from subscribers of mine. So please and thank you. Go ahead and leave a request if you all have one. But other than that, thank you so much for requesting JHOPE. All right, let's get into this reading. I'm kind of curious what's going on, because I'm starting to fall into the mix of the soap opera that is BTS, okay? There is definitely some sort of a shenanigans going on with BTS when it comes to their fan groups. So it's always interesting to learn about them through the comment section, and it's also pretty interesting to learn about them just in general through tarot. But the drama that ensues over the fan member, it's a little intense. Alrighty. I'm going to get into just kind of a creative oracle first, and then we'll get into the rest of it. In his most present energy, his most present to the idea that he could be successful because of how deep his creative goes. So this is just indicating to me the pursuit, or that is the path. Mother of God, hold on, y'all. Did that help? So anyway, that is the path that he will build to get to a place where analyzing or reflecting or figuring it out, one or the other. He's dealing with it. He's trying to figure it out. This, I tell you what, the internet is just a bunch of shit today. Sorry I had to hear that. Sorry I had to witness that, okay? It's just not my cup of tea. All right, so what is the influences around that? How, what is helping to add to that? And I would say he hasn't quite gotten into a place where he's super analyzing those things, but that is going to be a huge influence and a part of this process. So it's almost like he's becoming, if he becomes too attached, I guess, to other scenarios, he will never get into this place where he awakens to the depths of his creative and his intuition. But there is a lot of success going on. It's kind of an unfolding thing, and the creative abilities, they're unreal. That has a lot to do with his success, though. Okay. So again, we are going to get into this reading. I'm going to find out what's going on with this child. They're not children. I just think, they have great skincare regimen. That's what I got to say about that. I don't know what they're doing over there, but send it over. Send it over. Send it on over. All right. Here we go. Find out all about it. We're going to get into his tarot. I want to get into his most present self, where he's at, and any immediate influences kind of surrounding that. Eek. Why? He's kind of cold, a little moody. Might even be kind of uncaring at this very moment. Just really acting kind of out of sorts. He just feels like a little bit like he's not in a meaningful place, almost like the potential within and around him is just currently in a really weird space. He could be unhealthy. I just feel like his world is kind of upside down. Like normally the world's upside right in his world. In his world, he has, this really like, I don't know, a clear space or just knowing of what's next or what's upcoming, what's coming up, what's going to hit him. But I feel like there's just like this intensity, just like a non-awareness right now, like almost like the rules don't really matter. Could even put him in a place where he gets a little dangerous, but I just keep thinking temperamental or temper. I don't know, darling. I don't know what's going on with this guy. What is affecting him? What is this? What's going on around him? Let's get the influences. Girl. Okay, so strength has a huge part to this. So the strength, the courage to deal with anything when it comes to lack of structure, lack of stability. He's not manifesting right now. That is just something that is not on his plate. Anything that is coming in almost like very unclear. So this is an illness. This could be, he's ill. He has to be fucking ill. Because normally there's a very fair, clear, balanced thing going on when I'm doing readings, but I just feel like this is not. We got our Queen of Swords in reverse, Four of Cups in reverse, got our strength. I mean, the cups are not full here at all. Anything that comes in, he's not going to be dealing with. He's not dealing with anything. He's just kind of at a standstill. The structure here is just like very invaluable. Not helping out, not reaching out, not starting new. He doesn't even want to look at new. Nothing new. I don't want motion here. I don't want nothing. The intensity, though, and again, he's not aware that he's doing it probably. But again, this is just what's really disciplined in some places is very undisciplined. So it's just like anything that's coming in or influencing anything around him, I feel like, again, has a lot to do with kind of how he's feeling. But it just feels like there's an illness. It's very aggressive. Illness, mental illness. What kind of illness? Yeah, he's isolating. What the hell? He's isolating. Now, this could be physically he's isolating or mentally isolating. However it runs, he is finding solitude to begin with. So he's going on the inside for a reason. But now all of a sudden it's the cards in reverse. So it's just indicating to me that he kind of got stuck there. So he went inside, he's isolating for a reason, but then you get stuck in there, you get consumed with that aloneness and it starts really taking a hold. Okay. Start really wondering about some of the shit you've done in your life. Really wondering about, what's on the outside, but really not giving two shits. I just feel like this is very strange. It's just like something changed and it's really putting him in a grief-stricken space. Just feels like loss almost. No movement. There's no movement. There's no action. None. None. This is weird. What is in the past that has an influence on this situation? Does the past influence this situation? In the past, he definitely was, a person of learning how to be reliable. He learns how to get into the business. He learns how to hold, down a job or to save and put, money away in your wallet. Well, my friend Kate says your walnut. Put money in your walnut like a squirrel. Driving by my house, I see you. There's a gang of teenager boys. I see you too. Beach. That's what Tyler Terror says. Beach. Look it. All right. So anyway, there was a point in which he was very clear on a decision he was going to have to make. Now, this probably has a little bit to do with the present situation that we're dealing with. An illness, some kind of an illness, him acting like it's a hot mess. He's just not carrying any energy right now. He's very much in a hermited space, won't add to any new beginnings or old endings. He's just kind of like at a standstill. Masculine and feminine energies are very imbalanced, very much so. There is no movement, no strength, no depth. Not at the moment, okay? And again, the past, when he was in a place where he was trying to learn how to do this, he didn't. He gave up. So this is a giving up kind of scenario. The energy of giving up that surrounds him is a lot. Like he's got a lot. And it doesn't mean that he's an asshole or he's this or he's that. Like I love what my cards are doing. And I love that I get to voice things to you, BTS fans, but I will never be biased for BTS. So I am literally just reading from my intuition. Again, a conversation between you and I over some cards. That is all that we are doing here. Okay. So, but he didn't do that. So he's not very good at the money stuff either, if that makes sense. Okay. It really puts him in a place, not just because of his neglecting of, you know, the money stuff, the bank, the money, or even his physical, because he's actually supposed to be kind of like a very healthy individual. So physically, he could have been just like not really putting forth that effort. Okay. So this put him in a place where he should have made a decision to do something, to make something a little bit more clear or balanced or peaceful. And it just wasn't. It was stressful. It was in a place where he was not paying attention what was going on around him. And he was it was a very clear situation. It was very clear what it was. I mean, honestly, there was a lot of anxiety kind of riddled around it. So it was off balance. Definitely having to do with illness, or it's just like he put himself in a fair state, even in the mind. Weird. Yo. Who are you? Who are you? I love it. All right. Let's find out what's going on as far as hidden emotion about the situation. Any hidden emotions about this situation? Yeah, so hidden emotions. It's kind of over the situation. He's just physically dealing. As far as this Five of Wands in reverse, it's just indicating to me that this change has really brought about kind of like a defense mechanism, just kind of like defensive, just on guard all the time. And just like, again, this is what, you know, really put him in that place. But he just feels like what's the point of getting up, you know, today or whatever? I don't know what this is. Five of Cups, again, just indicating more drama, more chaos, okay? And it's just, again, he's not really focusing on what he should be focusing on, especially if he's going on in hermiting. It keeps coming back to relationships or some sort of like non-reaction to happiness. What? I want to find out a little more here. Hold on. Let's find out his biggest obstacle in his past. I just dropped a card. Hold on. I got to get a little more wrangle on him. Because something's not connecting. And I keep feeling ill. I think he's ill, though. I don't know physically, specifically, because it keeps bringing up physical stuff, but it also keeps bringing up money stuff. And then it keeps bringing up some messages or, you know, less than clear in the mind, kind of a foggy mind or, you know, illness within the mental. Either or, it's not fun, whatever he's dealing. Biggest obstacle in his life in the past here. Queen of Fire, honey. Somebody who is extremely exuberant, somebody very intelligent. This person was very much a queen or queen energy in their own right. Masculine energy. I think there was quite a bit of balance there. This person was very determined. I feel like they definitely had a lot of energy and they were always kind of like looking to build, whoever this person is, okay? They had a lot of passion. They had a lot of direction. There was some sort of mistake, maybe a change, something that caused some chaos, okay? A little bit of like a melodrama, if that makes sense. I feel like there was definitely a soap opera in his past. So it's almost indicating like some sort of a mistake that really tipped the game into a different place. So if he was playing in a game, he was winning for a minute and then all of a sudden he wasn't. So there was a huge loss. So that is a huge obstacle that he has faced. So one of his biggest experiences in his past, okay, is definitely some, you know, kind of like if he were to reassess it or reflect on it, he would see that there was huge mistake made here. And I don't know if that was by the Queen of Fire or if it was actually by him. But in the past, there was definitely some sort of activity or speed coming in, and it created this very overwhelming, stressed, almost like imbalanced ending to something with this fire sign. This is how this person felt. That looks like me every time I cook. Every time I cook dinner, that's what I look like, people. That's right. I start my day looking like this. And then, bam, I look like that. So maybe that's what happened. Maybe she or he was just exhausted. Just exhausted, honey. All right. What's the outcome there? Conflict. So a lot of conflict was brought into his life by this actual, whatever this experience was, and who this fire sign he was dealing with. This fire sign was a huge drama within his life. And the speed, the activity towards it, or however, it was just like so much energy, or however, I don't know, it's very chaotic. And then it overworked this person. This person feels overworked. They feel stressed. It came to an ending. Now, it sounds like a love affair, but I don't believe that it was a love affair, because if there's not much on love here, this person's not very into it like that. Okay, so the likely outcome of this situation, this was, a conflict, almost like a competition maybe, or somebody was really annoyed with somebody. I feel like definitely with this card, it's just indicating competition, annoyance, irritation, like what the fuck is going on? It's just like very impulsive, whatever it was. So, that was the likely outcome, and the direction was impulsive. The direction was meaningless as fuck, reckless. Let's get into his most present obstacle. What's going on with him right now? Listen, JHOPE, we need to know what's going on as far as your illness. I would like to know if that's what it is. Illness, or is it a mental illness? Either or, we should definitely talk about it. So let's find it out. Ooh. Okay, so currently in a very unstable place when it comes to, I don't know, just like anything to do with work, anything to do with like passions in his life, anything to do with inspiration. It's just like there was a contentment, but there's not a contentment as of right now. And some instability brought that in, maybe just the structure that was lacking, or like how it was built up. But he's not manifesting, even though he has all these choices. He just kind of like the over analyzing, the procrastination that this person does will set you back. It sets me back just thinking about it. And I feel like if you were to really look over, to kind of reevaluate the situation, really get into some information, and to know, if he were to fucking know how creative and amazing he is, he would really, really go on fire. And that's confirming that oracle reading, because that's exactly what I was talking about. Is he in his awakening? Christ, he could be in his awakening as of right now, or he's dealing with something really rough mentally or physically, something to pop him awake. Like, hello, you're the most amazing human being on the planet. Why won't you do something? Ding, ding, ding. Time to get up. All right. Yeah. So kind of surrounding around the situation is he's not in control of his finances. He feels like he's not in control of the body, probably. And I feel like the reliability here, or him neglecting those things, are really affecting it. And that's just confirming that other tarot reading plus the oracle reading. So the likely outcome here. Okay. So likely outcome is that to be in a place of objectivity onto your own self, you really have to let down that ego. So an ego can be about grandiose things where you think you're like the ultimate, or an ego could be like, oh, I'm so pathetic, I'm a loser. That's an ego too. The things that you're thinking about, if they're about yourself, it's normally ego stuff. Even if you're like, oh, my heart is in the right, like, it's your ego. All of it is. Okay, really, that's what it is. So the structure, the stability in his life sometimes lacks when it comes to dependency, material stuff. And I really feel like he suffers in the mind, and he has a lot of images, illusions. He kind of looks at things in a different light than you or I, if that makes sense. But that's a good thing for his creative output, because the other stuff, it's just like, that's where it's at. But there's been a loss. There was a loss here, and that's created this. So to be respected, knowledgeable, to put yourself in a place where you can look at yourself in those ways, and to not be objective of oneself, or to not, discredit oneself. You really got to let that ego fly the fuck away. You really got to let whoever this person is, let this come to an ending, whatever this means. to this guy. Like this overworked person keeps popping up. This person who's very imbalanced themselves. Okay. I mean, they were unpredictable. They were impulsive. They might have been sick, but they had a very heavy fog within and around them. They still do. Whatever this is, that is at an ending. That's already been dealt with. But that is something, again, that is going to influence whatever else. It's going to influence everything, whoever this is. So his most like present moment is him having to wake up from grief. Fucking people. Why would you fuck him up like that? All right, let's get in upcoming. What's upcoming? The biggest experience for him. 7 of Swords. The Emperor. Okay, so that structure is going to come back in, the structure conversation, okay? And I feel that there's some awareness that kind of comes into play here. And I feel like he is going to wake up. I think he's in the processes of it. The transformation's happening. He is going to wake up. He needs to caution himself because there can be consequences for not like, you know, going back and reflecting. There's big conflict. That's a big conflict. But this is going to put him in that emperor energy. It's very much in that structured, stable leadership place. The leadership, though, I feel like if he were to really change here, he's really going to clear up. And he's going to find the monies. He's going to deal with the coins, okay? Hopefully. Okay, yeah, because he's searching, okay? What surrounds this upcoming is that the fulfillment that he wants is going to come in a form and it's going to empower him, but he has to search for it. So that's what he's probably doing and will continue to do. He's very good at it. He would prefer to search than to be because it's easier. Ego, you know it. Likely outcome for upcoming next month or so. 7 of Pentacles, definitely just trying to be as patient as possible. He's just assessing everything right now, and there's some investments that are coming up. And this is really going to need his courage. It's really going to need that strength that I was talking to you all about. I feel like if he has prefers to come back into play and deal with the finances and the work stuff, he's really going to have to add that passion. This will be a new beginning. This is a wake up for him. This is definitely a wake up. It has to be. That's what it is. He's been searching. This is what it is. He's hermiting, but he's, kind of stuck in it. So I think that this is definitely something that he's dealing with, and he's dealing with the past stuff. He's going to have to end that, whether it's, still going or not. There's nothing, between the two, the Queen of Fire and him are not conversating. Yeah. So there's definitely going to be creative wise, anything that is opportunity for this kid is going to be amazing. All it needs is some action. He needs to put action into play, and it's indicating that he's going to. Okay. Again, the distraction here is always going to be the mind. With the 4 of water in reverse, it's just like him and his self-absorption and how disconnected he becomes because he kind of like falls into his own brain and he just like melts away into the distraction of it. And it's not clear. It's very foggy. It's very uncomfortable. And it kind of makes him aggressive, almost bullyish, because he's normally very like joyful, almost like somebody you want to be around all the time. He's very happy. He's like that, hero type. He just has a lot of really nasty messages to say to himself in his mind. And this really makes a clear distraction for this new creative outlet. And this creative outlet could be with his job. It could have something to do with anything as far as BTS, him and going on, moving forward, endeavoring whatever it is that they're doing. I definitely feel like he's a little bit wild when he's building. Wild inspiration. He's very, very creative. He gets a little cranky every other month. It's like there's a mental pattern of instability, but then it goes back to stability. So it's almost like manic, maybe. I don't even know. I'm not a doctor. I don't know. Okay. Please go ahead. Oh, Lori and Drake. She needs to get out of here. Get out of here, Drake. Yeah, I'll write that down. I'll write it down right now. Lori Harvey, is that who you're talking about? Hello, Gwendolyn. Jennifer, thank you so much for your comment and your request. Is that Lori Harvey you're talking about? Because I'll do a reading on those people. I will. Those dang little people. They starting a new beginning without us? How dare they? Okay, I do got to get out of here. I got some more readings to do, but please go ahead, hit subscribe, click the bell so you don't miss anything here. Also, if you would, share, like, and follow on the videos that do pop up on the upload. Go ahead, share them on your social media. Check out my social media and leave a request in the comments or get a hold of me in those social media. All the information is in the details below. And please go check out Hangman Tarot on the YouTube channel. Click the member button so you can get incentives, some perks here and there. You know, there will be some levels. I'm working on the intro video, so have some patience. We are getting into it. Other than that, please enjoy this beautiful Saturday, y'all. We'll see you soon.